31. Meeting with a teacher.
Good afternoon, Mr. Adams. May I have a moment with you? It's concerning Jamie's education.
Of course, Mrs. Smith. I always offer my time to discuss any concerns parents might have. What's troubling you?
Jamie mentioned that you're trying out a new type of teaching strategy. I'm worried that it's not enough to help her learn the lesson about the forces of nature. Are you sure, sir, that she sees the benefit?
This method is surely different from the traditional type. I force students to think critically by presenting them with real-world problems. It's not about memorizing facts. It's about thinking critically enough to use what they learn. For example, we threw a ball through the air to demonstrate the force of gravity.
Throwing things through the air is thoroughly thought-provoking, though I'm unsure if Jamie is ready.
I understand your fears, but she's doing fine. But since you're scared, let me offer a suggestion. How about we set up extra tutoring sessions to make sure she will be properly educated?
That sounds like a wonderful offer. Thank you. Oh, by the way, they've locked the main entrance. You might want to leave through the side gate today.
Thanks for the heads up, and don't concern yourself too much. Jamie's in good hands. By the way, can you type up an email listing specific areas Jamie struggles with? It'll help guide the tutoring sessions.
I can type that out tonight.
And thank you for ensuring she gets enough support.
Lesson 32. A prestigious assembly.
Ladies and gentlemen, residents of this great nation, as I preside over this prestigious National Assembly, I'm reminded of the golden age our country once thrived in. We are often called upon to provide an example to other nations, demonstrating the strength of our unity and determination. The era after the Great War is a testament to that. As I'm looking through that section of our history, I'm noting nothing that is unremarkable. Yet as president, I can say we often overlook its significance even though its effects still reside in our present. In the course of our discussions today, I have made a determination to include some lesser-known achievements from that time. The advancements we made in technology, medicine, and culture set us apart. Yet, it's essential to remember that every age has its end. With growth comes challenges, and with challenges comes growth. It's the natural cycle of life and death. And as we age as a nation, our responsibility grows. We face challenges but have not been defeated yet. So we push forward, with patriotism and honor coursing through our veins. Our resilience and commitment have never been stronger. Let's determine to chart our course with clarity, pride, and a sense of duty.
Lesson 33. Windows to the world.
Sarah was someone who loved the library. The rows of books fascinated her. Yet recently she'd found herself drawn to a different kind of story. Movies. Sarah had grown up outside the nation's urban centers, where action-packed films were rare. But she's a grown-up now, and this new act of her life, college, brought her to the city, and with it came a whole new adventure. One day, as she walked through the university campus, Sarah spotted a poster. International Film Festival, it read. This was her chance to explore cinema from outside her nation's borders, offering a novel experience. Intriguingly, the poster had a hole at the top, suggesting someone had torn it off in excitement before. The process of booking tickets was simpler than she'd expected. With a few simple actions, just a few clicks of her mouse, Sarah had her pass to a weekend filled with films from all over the world. On the first day, she was entranced by the procession of filmmakers and actors on the red carpet. She loved every moment, realizing how movies could be as good as any novel she'd read. On Sunday, she attended a seminar about the evolution of cinema. The speaker emphasized how the nation had included influences from around the world. It was intriguing to learn how filmmakers process inspirations from other cultures. Sarah walked back to her room, feeling invigorated. She passed the old library, the place she'd spent her whole first year. With a smile, she realized that, as a whole, her love for stories hadn't changed. It had expanded. The library and the cinema were two sides of the same coin, both offering windows to the world outside. The next morning, with a sense of purpose, Sarah made her way to the library. She decided to borrow a novel inspired by one of the movies she'd watched. Literature and film would now coexist in her life, making it a whole lot richer.
Lesson 34. A new beat in corporate rhythms.
It was Mia's first day at the tall office building of Econotech. She looked through the large window high on the 25th floor, watching the busy city below. The skyscraper was famous for the value it brought to the nation's economy and its periodicity in innovative breakthroughs. She hesitated for a moment, feeling the cold floor beneath her heels. The high ceiling seemed to echo back her nervous thoughts, but the soft music playing in the background gave her a touch of warmth.
ID card.
A security guard asked, pulling her from her thoughts.
Oh, right. I need to identify myself,
She said, handing him her identity card. As she made her way through the maze-like corridors, Mia remembered the difficult interview period. She had experienced a roller coaster of emotions, but she had made it. On her first day, she was given a document to review. It was titled, How to Value Your Work-Life Balance. Mia found it interesting, considering her previous experience in smaller companies where work-life balance was periodically discussed but often ignored. Midday, she spilled her coffee on her new colleague Tom, flooring him.
So disruptive.
He joked, wiping off the stain.
It's like you're trying to report me to HR on your first day.
Mia was equally floored by his reply and said shyly,
I'm so sorry. It was an accident.
Tom laughed.
No harm done. Just make sure your incident report reflects that.
By the end of the day, Mia realized the essence of Econotech was not just in numbers or analytics. It was in the melody of laughter, the rhythm of teamwork, and the harmony of shared experiences. She decided then that she would value her time here, forging her unique identity in a company that recognized the importance of periodic introspection and growth. Lesson 35. The Missing Jewel.
In the serene kingdom of Sarandel, Princess Isabella was in deep despair over the loss of the kingdom's cherished crown jewel. The vibrant gem represented the unity and prosperity of Sarandel. One fateful day, she woke up early and saw that the jewel was missing. She tried every approach to retrieve it. First, she relied on hope, hoping every day that it would appear. But all the hope she had had no effect on the outcome. The sizable jewel was still missing. Then she spent nights wishing on stars for it to return. Yet dawn after dawn, her wish remained unanswered. So praying was her next strategy, seeking divine intervention to guide her towards the lost jewel. But despite her heartfelt pleas, the heavens remained silent. Finally, she remembered Jim, the wise mage of the north. Picking up her phone, she dialed his number and phoned him.
Jim,
She implored.
I've lost the jewel and it remains lost. How could I lose it and what should I do?
The mage, known for his wisdom, spoke gently.
I don't know the reason for its loss, dear princess, but sometimes the solutions to our biggest problems aren't found in wishes or prayers, but in logic and reason. Try to think. Who last had the jewel? When did you see it last? Trace back your steps.
Following his advice, Princess Isabella began to think about the mystery logically. She retraced her steps and thought deeply about everyone who had come close to the gem. In her deductions, she realized she had mistakenly placed the jewel in a box of loose gems of smaller size during a palace cleaning. She raced to the storeroom behind the gem and found the gem gleaming at her from within a box. With the jewel in hand and the case closed, she sized up the significance of the entire ordeal. It taught her that while hope, wishes, and prayers have their place, sometimes one needs a clear mind and logic to find a solution.
Lesson 36, A Northern Adventure.
In a small town at the base of a giant mountain lived a young scientist named Amelia. She always felt there was something unique about the North, the chilly winds, the pristine lakes, and the myths that were told by the elders of the town. She was a little jealous of her friends, who were traveling with their families.
They're taking their kids there, but I'm traveling alone,
She thought. Science was her passion, but she was also interested in the mysteries that lay outside the realm of her books. One day, Amelia made a decision based on her scientific interests. She decided to take a trip up the mountain to explore the fish that lived there. As she began her hike northward through the peaks and valleys, she was thankful that she took her sturdy backpack. It carried her scientific equipment and some food to eat during her trip. The more she ventured, the more the mountain's north face revealed its beauty to her. When it came into full view, she was taken aback by its beauty. She took a break at that spot and set up her base camp. Next, Amelia decided to take a shot at fishing. With a rod in hand, she cast her line and hoped to catch some of the rare fish she had read about. Hours passed, and there in the shimmering waters, she made an unexpected discovery, a species believed to be extinct. This trip wasn't just a testament to nature's wonders, but a blend of science and adventure that Amelia would cherish forever.
Lesson 37, Tripping on the Red Carpet.
Luke, the annual company party is not your usual office party. There's a lot to prepare. Have you made a list of the things we need?
Yes, I've listed all the items you mentioned, though I'm unsure about the seating arrangement. The young employees from the new branch, where should they sit?
Good question. It's ever so important to mix the new with the old. Place the young next to some of our experienced team members. It's a great way for them to talk and share experiences. Eh?
Sounds like a plan. Oh, and I've prepared a red carpet entrance, just like the movies. Thought it might add a touch of glamour.
Red carpet? That's a delightful touch. We haven't ever done that before. Just make sure it's above the stairs leading into the hall. We don't want anyone tripping.
Yep, because they won't be the only ones. If any of the guests fall, the new manager will be tripping for sure. Do you feel me?
I feel you. When she's angry, she can complain for hours.
Yeah, but anyway, everything will be ready and in place. Speaking of which, I've heard there's a tradition where newbies ready a short performance. Is that true?
Yes, it's a fun initiation. Usually, it's a song or a short skit, but no pressure though. It's all in good fun.
I have mixed feelings about that. I hope I won't feel too nervous.
Don't worry. I felt that way my first time too, but everyone's supportive. Besides, it's just a short talk, a chance for everyone to get to know you better.
Thanks, Mia. I'll do my best. It's not every day you get to shine above the rest.
Lesson 38. Talking with the boss.
Good morning, Mr. Gray. I wanted to provide a direct update on the production line. Our new product's exceeding expectations in terms of productivity.
That's excellent news, Emma. This family-owned company has been producing produce for 2 generations, so it's hard to make improvements. What measures did the team employ to ensure such high standards, and how did you measure how productive it is?
We took a measure of increasing shift hours, and we measured the results by using a new quality control system. The results are directly related to these changes.
Impressive. Are there any challenges that pose a threat to this level of production?
A few minor issues. Some machinery parts are showing wear and tear. They'll soon need replacement. The sooner we address it, the better.
I see. Make sure to leave a report on my desk before you leave for the day. And how's the team? Everyone adapting well?
The team's doing great. Although Sarah's dog ate some poisonous leaves and was taken to the veterinarian, so she requested some sick leave. She promises to be back as soon as possible.
Family comes first, and besides, she's productive and works like a dog, so give her all the time off she needs. By the way, I heard the workers singing a song during the break. It was a lively tune.
Yes, it's a tradition here. Friday is karaoke night. It has a familial feel, but lively is a kind word, sir. Sarah is the songbird of the group, and with her missing, well, the rest of us still sing like birds, but more like the flightless variety.
Yes, flightless birds, like ostriches. Now that you say that, I do hear the resemblance, and I think rambunctious describes it better. Hey, they just posted the pictures on social media of your group singing. You won't believe it, but you pose like ostriches too. Definitely a unique style.
That's terrible, Mr. Gray. I know you're joking, but let me see. Oh, they are terrible. We look like a family of possessed ostriches in those poses.
This poses a question. Who possesses an app to make possessed ostriches beautiful? Anyway, make sure to direct any concerns or updates my way immediately.
Of course, sir. Goodbye.
Lesson 39. Shipping ships.
As the year was drawing to a close, our film class was tasked with a unique project: create a short film inspired by an adventure at sea. The concept was broad, and the preparation was long, but it had to be completed in a short time frame, with no half measures. I decided to center mine around a ship shipping ships. The captain was a short man with a long black beard and a tattoo of the numeral 1. He had to wind the ship's old, black mechanical compass to guide the vessel through treacherous winds and winding currents. Time was running short, but the tall masts made it possible to harness enough wind and move fast enough to complete their delivery on time. Their journey was no less than a Class A adventure, one that would question their determination and unity. As I completed the final scene, I felt satisfied that nothing was missing, shorted, or left out. The film really was complete. The narrative was tight, it was not short on dialogue, and the visuals were of top class. When I presented my work, my professor asked a question. After all that had happened, why did the captain choose to trust the old compass over modern technology? I smiled. Sometimes we have to question modernity and rely on the old ways.
Lesson 40, Granny is off her rocker.
My grandma is a rocker, and not because she rocks in a rocking chair. Granny is a rock and roller, and yes, she is a little off her rocker. She used to run a small record store downtown and had 1,000 old rock records from ages ago, so one day she decided to order a new music player.
When it arrived, she placed records on it and chose the order of her playlist. As the music began, she began to laugh and smile. Not a small chuckle, but a hearty, infectious giggle that seemed to order everyone around join in. Soon, everyone was guffawing uncontrollably.
One day, I asked her about the guitar-shaped outline on the wall. She said that back in her day, the motto was walking, rocking, and rolling, and that she played in a rock band. She used to record records and often ran into famous musicians during her tours.
Can you believe it?
I couldn't believe it, so I decided to check the attic, and during my check, I found an old photo album with the title Southern Rock on the Rocks. It was from a concert in the mountains, and the stage was on a giant boulder. One time during the concert, it started to rain heavily, and mascara ran down her face. But she kept on singing. Grandma's band was on fire with energy, performing in front of thousands. Her fame wasn't just local. It ran across several states. She was in amazing shape, too. She could sing and dance for hours. Every morning she'd go for a run to keep her energy up. The most interesting thing to me was realizing how her experiences shaped life for my father, and even for me.